Hello, BookTube. I've got a very dark and rainy Friday MegaStuff video for you here. I had howls of protest yesterday because there's something wrong with you people. I had howls of protest yesterday because my MegaStuff video was short. In other words, a weird old coot was nattering on about this, that, and the other thing. And when he decided in an act of self-control to keep the nattering controlled and short, he got complaints instead of thank yous. Because there's something wrong with you people. But one way or another, it has been dark all day today and pouring cold rain. The blissful Lothlorien bubble that we had here in Boston of warm weather, high humidity, comfortable weather is bursting today. So I have been dealing not only with a fractious miniature schnauzer. Frida, my little dog, hates the rain. Not just being out in it. She hates the whole idea of it. If she can hear it, she gets depressed and down in the mouth. But also dealing with the fact that you know it's 1 in the afternoon. You're walking from room to room in Hyde Cottage, and you need to turn on lights in order to see anything. That is very depressing. But I have some MegaStuff to show you. Not much. This, again, will be a short MegaStuff video. I thought we'd go through very briefly a little bit of mail. I don't know how much of this mail I'm going to be able to read because it was left in the box, and so it's soaking wet. But I got 2 periodicals that I really like. The latest Vanity Fair with the controversial cover of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This is a profile by Michelle Ruiz with photography by Tyler Mitchell. And AOC got roasted on social media because she wore a nice suit for her Vanity Fair photo shoot. She wore a nice suit. It was just another example to me of how her enemies, and good God does she have enemies, every single man in public office who has ever had a girlfriend smarter than he is, which is almost all of them, they see that girlfriend in her. The kinds of reactions that she gets, even from her fellow members of Congress, are so incredibly, uncontrollably personal that she just pushes buttons with them, and pushes buttons a lot more with normal people. As she says in this interview, she doesn't want to be anybody's idea of a savior. She wants to be a mirror held up to ordinary people who worked for a living, had ordinary crappy jobs, dreamed of doing better. I mean, the profile was kind of fluff, but even so, I don't think there's much that's outside the bounds of this young woman's future. I really don't. I think it's a foregone conclusion that she will be president if the presidency remains. If there is a presidency and it is achievable by a public vote, then I don't have any doubt in my mind that she will achieve it. And it's possible that she will be able to put an acceptable face of so-called progressive ideology on a slate of ideas that for some odd reason a huge stubborn block of Americans don't like, even though it would benefit them. It would improve their life immeasurably. A basic progressive ideology, a basic progressive program of the kinds of things that AOC champions would improve the lives of the people who are resisting her at every turn immeasurably. That always mystifies me. But I like Vanity Fair quite a bit. I will go through. I haven't read everything in this issue, but I'll go through this whole thing and see what bits and pieces it has to offer, and maybe a book excerpt here and there. And we also have the TLS. You can't really tell in this crappy lighting, but this is stimpled rather badly because it was soaking wet when I took it out, so it's been drying ever since. And it's I flipped through it, and it is notable for me in a way that some issues of the TLS are, but usually not many, in that there's virtually nothing here that touches on my own reading. This will be almost entirely a new reading experience. So I'll be reading things, reading reviews of books that I have not read, that I've never heard of, that I'm unlikely ever to read. And that's kind of weird. For me, that's a weird feeling because I get around when it comes to reading books. But this is, for some reason, this is just book after book after book that there's no way I'm not connected to it anyway. And the big centerpiece is about Siegfried Sassoon. So I will be enjoying this article and then cutting it out, putting it in my big Siegfried Sassoon biography. So those were the periodicals, and then we have some mail, and then this MegaStuff video will be over. No 40 minutes. So I have one package from publishers and two packages that I think are from one of you. So let's see what we have from the publisher first here. Okay. What have we got here? Okay, so this is a paperback original. It is loaded with blurbs. And it's yet more translated literature. This comes out in early December. It's a nice paperback from other press, and it's yet more translated literature. So to cap off the year that has seen hundreds of titles. This is Ferdinand, the Man with the Kind Heart by Irmgard Kuhn, translated by Michael Hoffman, the ever-reliable Michael Hoffman. So what on earth is this? Let's see what we have here. This is the final work by the sparkling talent Irmgard Kuhn. Follows Ferdinand Timpe in post-World War II Cologne throughout his attempts to make sense of the transition from Nazi dictatorship to democracy. Weaving notes of Voltaire's Candide with a shrewd eye for domestic detail, the book explores the disastrous effects of World War II in Germany by mixing humor and the absurd and casts wide the talents of a legendary German novelist. The author, born in Berlin in 1905, worked as an actress as a teenager before turning her attention to the stage and to the page. She gained fame for her early novel, The Artificial Silk Girl, which other press has also done. A glamorous tale of 1930s Berlin, initially published when she was just 26, and others that illuminate Germany's Weimar and exile periods. Interesting. And this is her last work. This is the last one. Okay, post-war Cologne. I have been to Cologne and loved it. Great. And the date on this is December 8th. This is exactly what you're going to get in bookstores. You can't really tell, but it's a kind of matte finish paperback here. A finished trade paperback. And then we have these two packages here that I think are from one of you. Yes, okay. And in this case, I'm not going to lecture. I'm not going to read the Riot Act because these were planned ahead of time. The very generous person asked me if I wanted them, and I said yes. And they're both volumes that I just don't happen to have at the moment. I saw them on a list of things that he offered me and said, okay, well, if it was no big deal for you to go to the post office, then I will gladly take them. First one is a masterpiece of history. This is by Adam Tooze. This is The Deluge. The way World War I changed the world, really, is what this is all about. And it's a massive work. I had the advanced copy. I had the hardcover. I had the trade paperback. And one by one got rid of them all. This is the type of author, once you know that someone likes to read serious, intelligent history, and they haven't read one of this guy's books, I was always in the habit of just packing them up and setting them off. So when I got the offer for this, I realized I didn't have it. That's fantastic. That would probably warrant a little rereading. A little rereading that I really don't have the time to do. And then this next one, I think I know what this is. Yes. Okay. Believe it or not, this is also a title that I didn't have. This is a volume 1 of the Library of America, the Histories of Francis Parkman. Here he is as a young man, before he bought his house on Jamaica Pond. This has Pioneers of France in the New World, the Jesuits in North America, La Salle and the Discovery of the Great West, and the Old Regime in Canada. So just 1,000 pages of 1,500 pages of glorious Parkman prose. Just glorious. These books are not well known. They aren't read or bandied about anymore, but Library of America did, I think, 2 volumes of this. I didn't, as soon as I saw the listing, this in the listing offered, I realized I don't have Library of America Parkman. Now all I need is volume 2. And then I will have the whole of that. Fantastic. Oh, and they're in perfect condition too. So you know who you are. Thank you very much for sending these. That's wonderful. And that is your MegaStuff video. 1 new book and 2 old books. 2 great old books. And a little mail. And that's it. No rice cooker updates, no NaNoWriMo updates, no tech updates, no nothing. I'm going to keep this nice and short, under 10 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.